Come on in. Well, then you made your decision? You did the research I asked of you? Don't just nod. It's yes, sir. Okay, that's better. Now, tell me, what did you learn? I see. So you believe you are submissive? That's correct. You do not need to love pain in order to be a submissive. That's actually a big misconception about what we call the lifestyle. You know, some people like pain, and quite frankly, some do not. The dynamic is the most important part. You know, that feeling of safety, security, the relief from stress, knowing that you have someone there to care for you, guide you, and, you know, keep you from falling. What does a dominant get out of it? Well, that's actually a really great question. I'm kind of proud of you for asking such a good question. Wow. You see, as a dominant, I crave having a purpose. You know, I need to have someone who I'm responsible for. Someone I can help be the very best that they can be. I need to know that I'm making an impact on that person's life, that I'm helping them in a way that really no one else could do as good of a job as me. And for that, I feel fulfilled. I feel like I have that purpose, and life just has a greater meaning that way. Oh yes, of course. There's a lot of fun things involved in it as well, of course. But, you know, the core of it, that part is what really drives me. When I know there's someone there that I can take under my wing, and I can make them be stronger, make them be successful in whatever goals they have, and that I was a big part in why that was possible. Yeah, exactly. Submissives do have purpose that way too. They want to know that they've pleased someone, that they have made someone's life better, that they've improved things for the other person, and that they made a big significant part on that. That's totally correct. That's very mature of you. A lot of people don't realize that we're both giving the other person a service in some way. So from all your research, what do you find to be the most important part for you? What's the part that really connected with you, that kind of really hit home? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought of you. Someone to help you get your life in order, get that chaos out of your head that you have all the time. You feel like you can never get ahead. You're always struggling. And I saw that in you. Yes. Do I find you attractive? I find you insanely attractive. And I thought that before last week, but when I saw you kneel for the first time before me, yeah, that just amplified it dramatically. What, no one else has ever told you that you're highly attractive when you're on your knees? Doesn't come up in vanilla conversations, does it? Well, maybe it should. Maybe it should. Yeah. So, where do we go from here, you're wondering? Well, you made your first step. You did some good research. I think you really have a good start on understanding what the purpose of it all is. And let's start with making a list of some of the things that you need to fix in your life. And from that list, I will come up with rules and tasks that you will have to complete daily that will be fairly easy for you to do. But when you do them all, we will be able to conquer and defeat every obstacle that has been in your way. Does that sound good? Okay, good. Here. Here's a pen and paper. I want you to make a list. We're going to talk about them now. You're going to write them down. Okay? Number 1. What is the status of the ungrateful, freeloading boyfriend of yours? That's good. It's a good step. Yeah. And I get it. You know, your submissive nature makes it very difficult for you to put your foot down and say, get out. But there's no point. You both have different rooms. Don't talk to each other. You're paying all the bills. You're doing all the work. And he spends all of his time on his games online. And it's not your problem. It's not your job to care for this person. It's, you know, he's a grown-ass man. He needs to go get a job and find a place, but it isn't your job to keep raising him, to keep supporting him. Yeah, he can just go back live with his parents. So you're going to have to do a difficult thing, and that is, you're going to have to be blunt. You're going to have to say, this is the only way it is. That's it. You have to leave. Don't try to negotiate. Don't try to soften the edges by being nicer about it so that you can eventually one day finally come to the same conclusion. You know, they have a saying. You have to be cruel to be kind. You know it's the right thing for both of you. And therefore, dragging it out, it doesn't make it any better. There isn't going to be anything different, correct? It's not going to change. Right. So, you got to rip that Band-Aid off. You got to say now. That's it. You said he was only living with you for like 3 months anyway, right? All right. That's the first thing we got to do. Because you can't start working on yourself when you have somebody dragging you down. Write it down. Good. That's a pretty big one. We're not going to fill you up with too many on this. Second part. I want you to write down a list of things that you want to accomplish in the near future. We won't focus on the future 5 years from now or anything like that. But things that you want to have fixed in your life in the next 12 months. Yeah, it's other than him. Yeah, other than him. But outside of that, anything else? Something you need to improve? Some kind of thing that has been weighing you down, stresses, all those things? Write those all down. Okay. And now for the third one, I'm only going to give you 3. I want you to text me first thing in the morning. What you're going to put in that text is you're going to say, good morning, sir, whatever. And you're going to say, this is my day and what I have planned for the day. Every single morning. And then each evening, just before you go to bed. And I mean just before we go to bed. In other words, I'm the very last person you will talk to every single day. You will text me good night. You will tell me if you accomplished the things that you talked about in the morning, and if you had any complications throughout the day. And then you will say good night, sir. Pretty easy? Fair? Okay. You're well on your way to having your life completely changed. Romance. Potentially. But you gotta walk before you run. And in this case, more appropriately, you have to crawl before you walk. So we're gonna go one step at a time. And you're gonna learn that patience pays. For now, you need to be patient. You aren't in the right headspace to start something new. You have a lot of, let's say, baggage right now that we're going to have to work on. But I promise you, it's going to be worth it. But we have to deal with some things first. I know it turns you on. I can tell. That's good. We'll just call it edging. Oh, well, there you go. There's some homework you can do. Why don't you look up edging? By the time we can be romantic, it will be one of the most amazing experiences you've ever had. That I can promise you. Okay, I got some work to do. And honestly, I haven't been in this room all week. It's clean. So why don't you get started? Clean the rest of the house. And I look forward to your text tonight. And we'll see you next week.